Hello students. So student, in the previous class we have started with a chapter and that is microorganism, and we were talking about the microorganism and we have seen that what is microorganism. Micro means minute, small, an organism, the living organism you can say. So we will say that the minute living organism, they are known as a microorganism. Now what is the speciality in a microorganism? There are a lot of organisms which are smaller in size. But here, if we are talking about the microorganism, they are this much minute that we cannot see them with the help of a microscope. We cannot see them with our naked eyes. Okay, so they are very small. They cannot be seen with the naked eyes. But with the help of a microscope, we are able to see them. And thus the name is given, that is microorganisms. Now if we talk about the microorganism, that where they live, so you see that they are of a different shape, they are of a different sizes. They can be unicellular, they can be multicellular. It means they can be made up of a one cell or they can be made up of a more than a one cell. And if you are talking about the habitat, so they can live in all type of conditions. It means they can live even in the extreme conditions. So there are microorganisms which is found in desert area, and there are microorganisms which are found in the polar cold areas also. So microorganisms, they are also found in the volcanic eruption also. So you can understand that even in the extreme condition also, we are able to find the microorganisms. So if we talk about the microorganisms, so those who study about the microorganisms, they are known as the microbiologists, and the portion, the science which deal with the microorganism and their study, that is known as microbiology. So how many types of microorganism is there, student? There are a lot, but the microorganism, basically it is classified into 5 types, and that is bacteria, protozoa, algae, viruses are there, fungus is there, fungi is there. Okay, and we had already discussed about the fungi. About the bacteria. So bacteria are what? They are, you can say, it's a unicell. They are the single-celled organism, and these bacteria are found everywhere. Most of the time they are unicellular, single-celled animals, single-celled organisms are there. And if we talk about the type of bacteria, so bacteria are of different shape. So there are different 4 type of shape of bacteria that we have seen in the previous classes also. So if the bacteria is in the shape of a rod shape, so we will use the term for it, and that is bacilli. If a spherical shape bacteria is there, so we use the term for it, that is cocci or coccus. If I told you if a rod shape is there, then we use the term that is bacilli. If a spiral shape bacteria is there, then we use the term for it, that is spirilla. And if it is a comma shape, then we use the term for it, that is vibrio. So these are the different shape of the bacteria, and we use a different term for it also. Now let us see the second type of a microorganism, and that is fungi. Okay. So we already had discussed here in fungi, in case of a fungi, that these are the organisms which lack chlorophyll. And as they lack chlorophyll, they are not able to make their own food. Ultimately, they take their food from the other animals, and usually they are saprophytic in nature, or they are saprophytes. So fungi are saprophytes. What is the meaning of a saprophytes here, student? So saprophytes are the animals which used to feed on dead and decaying matter. So these are saprophytes. So as they feed on the dead and decaying matter, they used to obtain their food from the decaying matter. That is why they are saprophyte and they lack chlorophyll. When you look at the fungi, so basically these fungi, students, that they used to live on a dead and decaying matter, because they get their food from these matters. But sometimes they also live in the living beings also, and causes athlete foot. Okay, so you have heard about this disease, and it is basically occurred due to the fungi. Okay, so it is a fungal disease, you can say. So we can write it that some fungi feed on the living things. Sorry. So some fungi lives on the or feed on the living things. They feed on the living beings. And causes athlete foot. If we talk about that, whether it is a unicellular, single cell having, or a multi-cell, so yes, there are fungi which are unicellular, which is made up of only one type of a cell, one cell, and there are fungi which are multicellular also. So we can say that these can be unicellular or multicellular. So fungi can be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, so they are multicellular as well as unicellular organisms. Basically, what is the best place where they used to grow? So they used to grow best in a dark, in a moist place. Okay, because you have seen that especially the moist places, there the growth of the fungus is very rapid. They grow rapidly there. So if it is a dark and a moist place is there, so they can grow better. And sometimes if you see, we are saying that these are the microorganisms which cannot be seen, but sometimes they become so large that they can be seen through our naked eyes also. Okay, so we can write the thing here that what is the best place for the fungus to grow. So we can write it that they grow best in dark, in warm and moist place. And moist places. Sometimes they become so big or they become large that they can be seen even through our naked eye. Okay, so you see here, student, what are the things which we have seen in the fungus, in the fungi, that fungi basically it can be a unicellular or multicellular. They do not have a chlorophyll, so they are not able to prepare their food, and ultimately they used to grow on a dead and a decaying matter from where they obtain their food. Okay, so as they feed on the decaying matter, and that is why we use the term for it, that is saprophyte. So they are saprophytic in nature, they are saprophyte. Okay, and what is the best place for the growth of the fungi? So they grow in a dark, in a warm, and in the moist place. Even they used to feed on a living organism and causes a disease that is known as athlete food. And while growing, they multiply themselves and become so large that sometimes it happens that they can be seen even through our naked eyes also. There are fungi which are unicellular, which are multicellular. So let us see that which of these, some of the fungi which are unicellular and multicellular. So if we talk about yeast, example of fungus, yeast. So yeast is what? It is a unicellular. Yeast is a kind of a fungus only which is a unicellular. Bread mold. Bread mold is a kind of a fungus which is grow on the bread. Okay. So bread mold. Bread mold is what? It is a multicellular. Multicellular is there. Mushroom. We can see the mushroom, students. So mushroom is what? It is also a multicellular, etc. So you have seen that there are fungi. There are fungi which are unicellular also, like yeast, and there are fungi which are multicellular in like that of a bread mold or mushroom. Okay. So fungi can be unicellular as well as a multicellular. Now this was all about that of the fungi. Now let us move on and see the third type of a microorganism, and that is protozoa. So let us see that where they live, what kind of a cell is made up of. Protozoa. Protozoa. So if we talk about the protozoa, so basically protozoa is what? It is a single cell organism. Okay, so most of the time you can say that it is consisting of a single cell. So they are unicellular organism. Now they used to move from place to place in search of food. So they are also found in water and in moist places, as well as it can be found in the soil. So they used to move from place to place in search of food. Now there are protozoa which are parasitic in nature and who live inside the living organism, and since they are parasitic, so ultimately they will cause the disease also. So you have heard about the Plasmodium, which is a kind of a protozoa, and it causes a disease that is malaria. Mosquito is what? It is a vector which used to carry the protozoa from a healthy person to the from an infected person to a healthy person. Dysentery. Dysentery is also caused due to the protozoa. So they used to live in inside the living organism and causes a disease also. Example, if you see the Paramecium is there, Euglena is there, Amoeba is there. So these are what? These are a kind of a protozoa. So the first point that we will write about the protozoa, that they are the single-celled animals. They are single-celled animals. This is the first thing about that of the protozoa. The second thing, they used to move from place to place. Used to move from place to place in search of food. Okay, so they used to move place to place in search of food, and this is because they are found in water as well as in the soil also. Okay, so they are found in water as well as in the soil. Now, if we are saying that the protozoa also live inside that of the human being or in the living organism, so they are parasitic in nature. So some protozoa are there. Some protozoa are parasites. That is, who lives inside the body of a living organisms. Okay, so as they are living inside to that of the living organism, students, so they will cause a disease also. Okay, so we can write it, that is, these causes disease such as dysentery, so they causes a disease such as dysentery, malaria. Okay, so they are parasitic. Some of them are parasitic and they live inside the body of the living organism and they causes a disease like that of a dysentery or malaria. Now some of the common protozoa, that is, some of the common protozoa are that is Paramecium. Then Euglena is there. So Euglena is there, Paramecium is there, Amoeba. So these are what? These are some of the protozoa. So in protozoa, students, we have seen that they are single cell, they are mostly unicellular. Second thing, we have seen that they used to live inside, means they are parasitic in nature, so they used to live inside that of the living organism and causes the disease to them like that of a malaria or dysentery, and they used to live in a different places in search of the food, and because of that they can be found in the soil as well as in the water also. Now after protozoa, let us move and see the another kind of a microorganism, and that is algae. So till now we have seen bacteria, we have seen fungi and that of the protozoa. Now let us move and see the algae. Although algae are of a lot of a type, there is a green algae is there are blue-green algae is there, red algae is also there. So we don't have to go this much deep in this class. We simply have to understand that what is algae and where they live, what kind of a cell they have. Okay. So next one is algae. Basically algae consisting of a chlorophyll. So if they are having chlorophyll, so they are able to perform the photosynthesis. This means they are able to make their own food. So the first thing algae is that these are simple plants. These are the simple plants and these consisting of chlorophyll. And thus can perform photosynthesis and can make their own food. So since they are having chlorophyll, so they are able to perform the photosynthesis, and ultimately we can say that they are able to make their food. Now, where they are found, student? So most of the algae, they are found in water. But there are who live in the snow also, who are also found in the bark of the trees. Okay. So even on the mountains also they have been found. So we can write it that most algae are found in water. But some of them are also found in the snow area, in the snow we can say. Even in the hot spring. And bark of the trees. Okay, so they can be found in snow, hot spring and bark of the tree. Some of the example of that of the algae is Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is what? It is an example of a algae, and Spirogyra also. Okay. So algae, you have seen that they consisting of a chlorophyll, and since they are having chlorophyll, they are able to perform the photosynthesis also, and which help in making their food. And they can be found everywhere. They are present in the snow area. They are found in the bark of a tree also, or they can be found in the hot spring also. So you can see that they are present even the conditions are very extreme. Conditions are not good. Okay. Now example of the algae is Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas. Example, Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas. This is what? Algae. Now we are saying that algae live in most of the algae are found in the water. So there are algae like kelp is there, or seaweed is there. So these are the algae which is found in water, and they are of a large size. Even if you see the kelp, students, so kelp they used to grow 200 meter. Okay, so they are of a large size, and they are basically found in the seas and ocean. Now, if you look at the variety of the algae, so there are algae which can be eaten, or which are edible, you can say, and can be eaten in a different part of the world. So we can write it. Some of the algae are found in the sea and ocean, like algae, like seaweeds, and kelp. Are found in seas and ocean. Okay, so they are found in seas and ocean, and basically they are large in size. We also said that the kelp it used to grow about 200 meter, okay, in length. So we can say that kelp can grow about 200 meter in height. Okay, so you can see that they are large in size and they can grow about 200 meter. There are some of the algae which are edible and which can be used as a food in the different parts. So variety of algae are there, students, found in the extreme condition, found in the sea and ocean also. So some varieties algae are edible and can be used as food in different parts of the world. Okay. Different parts of the. So you have seen here, students, so we have seen that algae, basically algae consisting of a chlorophyll, they are found in the extreme conditions. It means they are found in the hot spring, even they are found in the snow, or even bark of the trees. Most of the algae, they are found in water, but some of them, they are found in such extreme conditions. Since consisting of chlorophyll, which help it to perform the photosynthesis. Now, if we talk about the algae, so we have seen Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas algae is there. And some of the algae is there which is found in the seas and ocean, like that of a kelp and seaweed is there, and they are large in size. So they are algae, they are large in size, and even if you look at the kelp, so they used to grow about 200 meter in height in sea and ocean. Some of the algae, some of the variety of the algae is there which are edible, it means can be eaten, and they are used as a food in the different parts of the world. So this was about that of the algae. Now let us move and try to understand the very important one, and that is viruses. So we have seen about the algae, we have seen fungi, we have seen protozoa and bacteria. Now the last type of a microorganism, and that is virus. Viruses. Viruses, students, they are the smallest microscopic organism. Smallest, it means they are this much small that we cannot see them even with the help of an ordinary microscope. So we need a high resolution microscope to see the viruses. Okay, so the first thing comes in the virus is the smallest microscopic organism. Smallest microscopic organisms. Smallest microscopic organisms. These are very small that they cannot be seen, even with the help of an ordinary microscope. Ordinary microscope. So they can be seen only if a high power electron microscope is used to see it. Okay, so and can be seen with the high powered electron microscope is used. High power electron microscope is used. Okay, now see. Now students, if we talk about the viruses, so virus basically exist in two states. Let us understand what is the two state, then we will write about it. So basically the virus exists in two state, and that is the living state and non-living state. When we talk about the non-living state, it means at that time the viruses are not in contact with that of a living organism. Okay, so we can say this is an inactive state of the viruses, and at that time we use the term for the virus is called virions. Okay, so that is the inactive state. At that time it was not in contact with the living organism or a living cell. But as it come in contact with a living cell, it become active. Okay, so we will say that it is having two state. Once it is in the inactive state and another it is an active state.